Weekly Wrestling Wednesday gets kicked off here week 1 with a throwback to 2017 as the incredible Anthony Idol takes on former WWE Superstar and wrestling legend D'Lo Brown. And I am joined here with none other than one half of the participants in this match, the incredible Anthony Idol. Anthony, pleasure to be joined with you here.
Digging in through the vaults to finally get this footage in its entirety out there on YouTube, and I am excited. Despite what D'Lo Brown just did to my face right there. Man, he laid that sucker in.
Hard right hand to the jaw of Anthony Idol. And Anthony, it's been a long time, you're right, since this footage has seen the light of day. And we are happy to bring it to you here with this first of 4 weekly installments on our way to the 2023 edition of the SoCal Pro Wrestling Anniversary event.
Newcomers to SoCal Pro may not be familiar with my time spent on the other side of the fence, so to speak. A little bit of a low blow, but hey, I think they're legal. Joined there by my manager, the nefarious Everett Scott of Everett Scott International, as I bring the shoulder blows into D'Lo's lower body.
That's right, D'Lo Brown, of course, no slouch, former champion everywhere he's gone. And here, turning the tables around on Anthony Idol, and a flurry of offense here in the corner brings the champion down in the corner.
Absolutely getting rocked there in the corner by D'Lo, and I made sure that I absolutely did recognize who I was dealing with.
The champion in the ring at all times, the current SoCal Pro Tag Team Champion, along with myself, Anthony Idol. And here, during this time period, you are on your way to becoming the SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champion. Can you bring us into the mind of the incredible one at that time again? Years back, over 5 years now, but at the time, again, getting into the mind of Anthony Idol, which again meets that turnbuckle here. What was your thought process going into a big match like this with a guy like D'Lo Brown, a legend like D'Lo Brown?
I knew it was going to be a big measuring stick. I knew that I had to bring my A++ game, as the wise man once said. But I knew that if I could prove myself against someone the caliber of D'Lo Brown, that surely I could carry the weight of the SoCal Pro Heavyweight Championship.
Well, all of your weight there dumped to the outside of the ring, and maybe an inadvertent breather there for Anthony Idol as Everett Scott seemed joined on the outside with the Incredible One. And maybe that splash of water, that breath of fresh air, might be the break that the Incredible One needs, and maybe that distraction from Everett Scott, that could be a difference maker here in this match.
Oh, we don't have to beat around the bush. I absolutely took advantage of every shortcut possible. I like to think of myself, at least at this time, as a brilliant strategist. So no doubt about it, I went out there to catch my breath and get some distance between me and D'Lo.
Well, D'Lo Brown not letting you have it here as another wicked right hand cracks off the top of the skull. And Anthony Idol here, you cowering to your knees and down to the floor, crawling away from D'Lo Brown. He's really bringing the low down here. And these people, what in the world is Everett Scott doing there with a chest protector?
Again, I had an insurance policy in mind. I got to the building early and hid that chest protector underneath the ring, so I knew I had a backup plan or a contingency plan if I needed it.
And only Everett Scott knows what's loaded in there. You got to believe it's not too heavy with all that weight of Everett Scott. He wouldn't be able to. Oh, well, now he's on the run.
Oh, I might say that was pretty smart still.
And Anthony Idol taking full advantage of the distraction from Everett Scott here, shoving D'Lo Brown chest first into the guardrail before following it up with a wicked club to the back. And D'Lo Brown now trying to get to the higher ground, trying to create some separation between himself and Anthony Idol. But the Incredible One quick to follow up with some offense.
Ever the opportunist. Boy, it feels a little odd looking back at myself take these shortcuts, but you know what? Getting the win and getting the job done, those are the 2 most important things. And you can see here, there is little wasted air or little wasted opportunity. When I have an opportunity to attack D'Lo Brown, I'm getting it in there.
We talked about getting it in there, and that knee is firmly driven across the back of the neck of D'Lo Brown, who now faces another 2-on-1 offensive onslaught from Everett Scott on the outside of the ring. And man, Anthony Idol taking yourself out of the equation here. You got to say, that's just downright blatant cheating.
Well, I wouldn't say I took myself out of the equation. I absolutely made myself a factor in that equation.
I'm saying here, looking at it now, all these years later, if you weren't a participant in this match, looking back, you would say that Everett Scott, this guy is one of the most dastardly villains. And again, here he is, choking D'Lo Brown. We have not seen someone the likes of Everett Scott on the outside of the ring here in SoCal Pro in a long time.
Again, as a former offensive lineman, I've always abided by life in the trenches. And life in the trenches goes like this. If the referee don't see it, he cannot call it. So you might want to call me a dirty player if I punch you in the throat. You might want to call me a dirty player if I'm holding your shoulder pads. You might want to call me a dirty player if I send the butt of my palm into the base of your chin. But all those things, they have to be caught by that referee for there to be a penalty. And if you're not caught, then there is no penalty.
Cover here after some strong moves. I'm finding out a lot about you here, and I think D'Lo Brown finding out a lot about Anthony Idol here in this match. And again, those are wise words, but looking back at it, D'Lo Brown here following the rules, having played the fair fight, is kind of struggling here as Anthony Idol up until this point has had the upper hand, and it appears to maintain that advantage. Wicked spine buster.
Brother's been in the gym. You know, D'Lo Brown is no lightweight. I got him all the way around on that side.
Cover here.
Oh my glorious hair at this time.
Enough of the self-indulgence, Anthony Idol. I thought you had him there. Wicked double-A variation of the spine buster here sends D'Lo Brown crashing to the mat. They got to give you credit, despite the nefarious strategy. You have been putting the work on D'Lo Brown as we go for a ride here around ringside, and D'Lo Brown is fighting, struggling for air.
Trying to lay all my body weight on top of D'Lo Brown. Don't quite get into a full sprawl, and that's why D'Lo's able to regain his base here and break up that shin lock.
Brown fighting to his feet here, and now off the corner here, Anthony Idol set for a ride.
Probably right in the chin, man.
That's the game plan here. D'Lo Brown, over 40 years old, off the ropes! Crashed and burned. They call it high risk for a reason, and that knee might be hurt. D'Lo Brown came down hard.
I think the crowd was really caught off guard by seeing D'Lo take the air like that. I know I was, but not so much so that I was going to be caught.
Again, able to just get off the mat in the nick of time.
You might recognize that whole talk to me by the great Manny Fernandez. That is a front Russian roll, not to be confused with the front face lock.
Well, if you grab at the wrist in the right way, you can literally put your opponent to sleep in seconds. And now Anthony Idol here going up top for some high risk maneuvering, and again that doesn't pay off. Both of these big men take to the skies, and 0 for 2 as Anthony Idol crashes with a chest full of knees into the solar plexus from D'Lo Brown.
It might have been my solar plexus. I think I felt that a little bit closer, a little bit more northbound towards my xiphoid process. But nevertheless, I am not in good shape here. D'Lo's got that crowd behind him, man.
Anthony Idol, the contracted diaphragm, hyperventilating as D'Lo Brown as he rises to his feet with the crowd and Oceanside firmly behind him.
Big rights, man. I gotta get my hands up.
And those clean forearms of early have now faded into some hard, closed right fists as D'Lo Brown is cooking with a wicked leg lariat off the ropes. And now Anthony Idol up, the incredible one off his feet for the first time in this match. And D'Lo Brown, he is cooking. He is cooking with gasoline. And the kitchen is getting hot. Drops a leg drop. He might have him here. And win the world! That's a disqualification! Oh, well, that's not the way we wanted this match to end by any stretch of the imagination. Everett Scott getting involved here.
And me neither. I did not ask Everett Scott to interfere on my behalf, but not that I'm really upset about it. I may have been in a little bit of
Anthony
trouble.
Idol, let's not try and cut and, come on. He had you dead to rights. He had your shoulders
I've
pinned to
had
the mat.
multiple concussions since that time. I'm not quite clear that I was at that great a disadvantage at that time.
And if there's anything that's clear right now, it's that it's 2-on-1. The bell is rang, and now Everett Scott trying to get involved here. And again, he's no athlete. He's no pro. That goes wrong as expected, and he eats a huge right hand from D'Lo Brown, and the action is not over. Up and down with a low down spine buster, and D'Lo Brown victorious, standing tall here at SoCal Pro.
That dude wants to be sky high.
Sky high like the views on Weekly Wrestling Wednesday. Again, every single week leading up to the SoCal Pro anniversary, we've got brand new wrestling.